What Dallas Cowboys did with Dak Prescott is absolutely insane. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. But shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. The first story is that Dak Prescott, Cowboys agreed to a record $240 million deal over 4 years. Now the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott have agreed to a 4-year, $240 million contract extension that will make the star quarterback the highest paid player in NFL history and keep him in a Cowboys uniform through the 2028 season. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones said on Sunday. The deal includes $231 million guaranteed, which is most in league history. Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed deal with the Cleveland Browns was worth $230 million. I know that these numbers are beyond anything that I could have ever imagined, Jones said of the guaranteed money in Prescott's deal. The $60 million average annual value of Prescott's contract is the highest in NFL history, easily surpassing recent deals worth $55 million in average annual value signed by Cincinnati's Joe Burrow, Green Bay's Jordan Love, and Jacksonville's Trevor Lawrence. Prescott also received a record $80 million signing bonus, passing Love's previous high of $75 million. That's a lot of me that thinks that I hope Dak is our quarterback for the rest of my time, Jones said. And that's not just limited in the terms of his contract either. I have a lot of confidence in him. He brings so much to the table. He's a player that the team follows. That's big. The record-setting deal comes hours before Dallas' season opener in Cleveland against the Browns. After the Cowboys and Prescott engaged in negotiations throughout the weekend, sources told ESPN. This was a thing to do for what we're here for, and that is to win a championship, Jones said. I know our fans know that. I'm surprised that anyone would think that anything short of. They might disagree with this decision, but anything short of a commitment is just not the case with me. I gave everything I have ever had and hope to have to get a chance to be a part of the Cowboys, and it's beyond our fondest dreams that we stand today. In less than 2 weeks, the Cowboys were able to make Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the NFL and make CeeDee Lamb the league's second highest paid wide receiver, securing both players through 2028. The Prescott deal also helped the Cowboys avert a potential salary cap mess and keep them from needing to find a franchise quarterback either through free agency and trade or the draft in 2025. The path to the largest contract in Cowboys history was not as long as the first time Prescott signed the biggest contract in team history, but it still had some drama. Prescott had been set to play this season on the final year of a 4-year, $160 million deal that he signed in 2021. The Cowboys and Prescott has been unable to find common ground since the start of the past offseason, but they entered the weekend with the knowledge that they would try to work out a deal before the season kicked off. By agreeing to a deal Sunday, the Cowboys prevented Prescott from becoming a free agent next winter in a market that figures include a number of teams looking for quarterbacks. Now, thanks to the no trade and no franchise tag clause in his previous contract, Prescott would have hit the open market as a rarity in the NFL, a no strings attached quarterback in the prime of his career. Prescott instead will stay in Dallas while he was formed a strong bond with coach Mike McCarthy. After playing in just 5 games in 2020 before a season-ending ankle injury, Prescott led the Cowboys to the postseason in each of the past 3 seasons under McCarthy, who is 36-15 over that stretch. One of Jones' concerns about the big money deals paid out to Dallas quarterbacks had been able to field a competitive team around Prescott. Micah Parsons is eligible for an extension also after this season. It's going to always be a test and measurement when it comes to planning ahead, Jones said. That's a big thing. We sit on a roading and things change every year. My assessment of where we're going to be going in the future, we're going to be able to handle this. We're going to be able to get our players around him that gives us a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. He was our best chance of getting one. This deal could see Prescott ending his career as a franchise all-time leader in wins, passing yards, touchdown passes, attempts, and completions, but the biggest goal for both sides is ending a Super Bowl drought that is drawing closer to 30 years. Alright everyone, with week 2 almost here for the NFL, we got our money on Dallas Cowboys because they face off against the New Orleans Saints, and we're going to be putting $10 on this bet on BetUS. Make sure you go check out BetUS. They have a 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. $100 with the code YouTube150. So definitely go check them out. Here we are putting the bet in for $10 for Dallas Cowboys to win. So definitely go check out BetUS with the code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. The second story is that the Cowboy Star played their best and new ones in the making of the season opening round, winning 33-17 at Browns. What off-scene contract drama? Just hours before their season opening kickoff in Cleveland, with the Dallas Cowboys signing them, we also saw them smash the Cleveland Browns in a 33-17 win. It was a mix of other players with big contracts and expectations, likely fresh ink CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons setting the tone throughout. Maybe even some more impressive from the Cowboys was the new players like DeMarvion Overshawn, Kelson Carson, and also Tyler Godden. Cooper Beebe and even Ezekiel Elliott in his return all fit in seamlessly behind the Stars to give the Cowboys a complete effort to blow out an NFC playoff team from a year ago. 27 straight points from the Cowboys after a Browns opening field goal was more than enough for Mike Zimmer's defense to shine in the defensive coordinator's debut, making the Browns one-dimensional and getting after Deshaun Watson in the pocket. It was a familiar game plan for the Cowboys in a lot of ways. Trust Prescott to play at a high level, with Mike McCarthy calling plays, trust the defense to bring down the level of opposing quarterback, and trust special teams to come up with a potential game-breaking play, which they did when Kevontae Tupin scored his first punt return TD with the Cowboys in the third quarter. The Cowboys are hopeful that the new wrinkles they did show. As a team on a season-long mission to prove that learn from recent playoff failures can make this one with just one win, as they kept pace with the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 1 to open up a one-game advantage on the New York Giants and Washington Commanders, before the Cowboys return home for their AT&T Stadium debut against the Saints team that won by the widest margin of Week 1 of 47-10 against the Panthers. Here are some notes from the Browns game that I think are super important. The Browns opening dive was cut short after the 4th and 2nd false start penalty took their offense off the field and led to a Dustin Hopkins 51-yard field goal. So this was honestly insane to see and watch it live, but it was Micah Parsons' presence that helped draw the false start against Cleveland right tackle Dewan Jones, who needed all the head start he could get to deal with the speed of the Parsons on the edge. Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence stole the show in the front 7 for the Cowboys, working against 2 backup tackles for the Browns. The Cowboys were known as an aggressive get-upfield at all-cost defense up front under Dan Quinn. On Sunday, they looked just as dominant while staying around and also staying sound in their run fits and pass rush contain, as a defense still loaded with talent for veteran play caller Zimmer. The game was not true test of how improved the Cowboys are on defense, but with the Browns playing with Nick Chubb and forced to drop back pass 45 times after falling behind, but their size and agility to shed blocks in the front 7 was more than apparent, which I thought was great. For now, the Cowboys' best run defense may still be some version of not letting the other team get comfortable running it thanks to the pressure their own offense presents. But the foundation was clearly laid for them to stand up against teams that would be more ready to test their physicality between the tackles. After going towards on their opening drive on offense, the Cowboys turned to 2 players that they will put a lot of trust in all season long to score their first points of the season. Rico Dowdle, CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Cooks were the only players to touch the ball on a 6-play, 70-yard scoring drive to give the Cowboys a lead they'd never surrender. Prescott's incompletions on this dive came to Turpin and TE Jake Ferguson, who was later hurt and didn't return to action. It's easy to forget that the Cowboys only scored 30 points 3 times on the road last season at the lowly Commanders, Giants, and also Panthers. The third story is that Cowboys Jake Ferguson has a bone bruise, MCL sprain, but it could still mean a good thing. Now, when it comes to Dallas Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson, he could still play a Sunday against New Orleans Saints, which I think is fantastic, after being diagnosed with a bone bruise and a minor sprain of the medial collateral ligament in his left knee. Now, a source told this to ESPN on Monday, and Ferguson had an MRI on Monday morning after leaving the Cowboys' 33-17 victory against the Cleveland Browns, following a 2-yard catch in the third quarter. He landed awkwardly while attempting to leap linebacker Jordan Hicks and immediately grabbed his knee. He went to the locker room and did not return. After the game, multiple sources said Ferguson's anterior cruciate ligament remained intact, but the MRI was needed for the full diagnosis. God is good, Ferguson posted on Twitter on Monday morning. Ferguson finished with 3 catches for 15 yards. Last year, he established himself with 71 catches for 761 yards and 5 touchdowns and was added to the Pro Bowl as a replacement. I think we dodged a big one. Quarterback. Dak Prescott said Sunday after the game. Obviously, he has to get some x-rays, but talking to him, he gave me a lot of confidence that he will be okay. He will be able to respond whether it is nothing or a couple of weeks. I cannot even think that we would miss without him. His mentality, what he brings to the game, what we've grown in our connection, we will be fine. He will be fine. He gave me the news, so I'm just going to try and think on that end to get him back out there as quick as we can. If Ferguson cannot play Sunday or is out even longer, the Cowboys have Luke Schmoonacre, a second-round pick in 2023, Brevin Spanford, and also John Stevens Jr., who was inactive Sunday because of a hamstring strain at the other tight ends on the 53-man roster. Fullback Hunter Lupwecki was used and a line blocker against the Browns, and they have combined for 13 catches for 101 yards in their career. Thank you again to BetUS for sponsoring this video, and once again, if you'd like to sign up to BetUS, use promo code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with the code, guys, like I mentioned, YouTube150. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.